Hello everyone, welcome to APTI Plus Academy for Civil Services. This is a special video on last minute tips for the UPSC CSA Prelims Examination 2023. I have already made a video on 15 days strategy. I think most of you must have watched that. I'm expecting that video might have helped you in way or other in the part of the preparation. Now in this video, I'll tell you some important things that you must know for the last 6 days, how you need to approach the part of the days left, the CSAT part, and even the examination hall tips that and the certain precautions that you need to take in the examination hall. So without any further ado, let's get started. So what I'll be discussing, I'll make the thing more precise for you so that I'm not taking much of your time and articulating the part in a precise manner. So the tips like last 6 day, how you need to approach. The D-Day is at 28th of May. The examination is scheduled at 28th of May. The second part, I'll be looking into the part how you need to approach the MCQs. Then we'll follow the CSAT do's and don'ts and how you need to approach the CSAT on the examination day. And some common mistake OMR that has been released by UPSC. I'll also discuss that because this is very important. I'll also add this in the description section. You can download that. So let's get started. So what are the last 6 days that you will be doing? How you need to approach the 6 days? So first and foremost, no schedule, no plan. There should be no schedule, no plan. Whatever plan was essentially required, you must have already done. And I know most of you who are watching this video is already a sincere student. You must have followed your schedule as per your timetable, right? So this is the time to focus on your weaknesses and your doubt. See why I'm highlighting this weaknesses and doubt. For many aspirant, they come across a lot of problem at the last week of the examination. Suppose if you're weak in polity, you will lose out in part of articles, you will miss the year of the appointment, the tenure that is essentially required. You must miss out in any dates they're there. There's protocol in the environment. For history, you'll be missing out for the roundtable conference 1, 2. So these are the doubts that exist at the end of the exam. No, when you are left with very less number of days, तो वहाँ पे आपकी confusions काफी ज़्यादा पड़ती है. उस confusion को दूर करने का जो सबसे अच्छा option है that you should focus on your weakness. Just whenever you study, try to keep your eyes closed and try to memorize in that virtual memory, right? That will help you in a recognition and recall power also. So do not plan anything in this 6 days. Do whatever you feel comfortable, whatever you are feeling that you are weak in at particular subject or section, focus only that, right? That will not only complete that part, but that will also motivate you. At this time, motivation is more important than the part of preparation that you have done. राइट तो अभी के लिए आप अपने मोटिवेशन लेवल को काफ़ी ज़्यादा हाई रखें. नाउ स्ट्रिक्टली नो न्यू मॉक टेस्ट. Even you cannot go for sectional test or full length test. This is my personal advice to all the aspirant watching out this video. Do not go for any mock test. Why I'm emphasizing on this part? See, mock tests are designed in a certain fashion. Even if you're going for a sectional test or you're going for a full length test, the idea is to test your knowledge, right? And this time, in the last 6 days that is left with you, you have to just recall whatever you have learned. You cannot create a new data in your mind, right? So take a caution. Do not go by any new mock test that will unnecessarily burden your mind. And it will, whatever you're doing, अगर आपने किसी mock test को लगाया, किसी concept को आपने अगर नहीं पढ़ा है, then you will be searching for that, you will be wasting your time. So it's a strict no to go for mock test at this last 6 days. Now the best idea is to go for PYQs. I have already made an emphasis on the PYQs in the 15 days strategy video also. This is a must that you can do, right? At least from since 2017 questions के जो PYQs है उसको करें. If you have good time, go at least for 10-year questions, right? At a minimum of 10 year will definitely suffice your need. Now, one more thing that I wanted to emphasize while you practice MCQs, while you are practicing MCQs, you have to stimulate your body as per the exam working, right? So this is why I wanted to connect. Stimulate your mind and body as per the exam hour and conditions. This is for sure that in examination hall you won't be getting any air condition. You have to stimulate your body into a condition where a simple fan is working, and there are likely chances that even fan might not work, which is not there. But assuming that a fan is working and you are even not sitting just bottom of that fan, right? So this is something you have to figure it out. You have to accordingly stimulate your body. And specifically one thing that I wanted to highlight, you have to do this on the time that is allocated for your prelims examination. जो आपके एडमिट कार्ड में टाइम दी जाती है, आप उसी टाइम पे ही PYQs की प्रैक्टिस करें. दैट विल गिव योर नर्व अ सेंसेशन एंड स्टिमुलेट द माइंड अकॉर्डिंगली. इट्स वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट. दीज आर सम ऑफ द माइन्यूट क्रिटिकल थिंग, बट जस्ट टू रिमाइंड यू, ये सारी चीजें लास्ट डे में काफी ज्यादा काम करती है. So if possible, PYQs on the specific time when the test is conducted. And if you're done with your exam 28th of May, then you will relate the thing that why I was emphasizing on this timing. Now, a strict no to any new material, and even this time the Telegram is flooded with magic PDF. This complete way, this is the time to abstain from any kind of new material. Even if a single page material, if a single liner is coming, just avoid it. Trust yourself. And I personally believe that those of you who are watching this video have done a tremendous job. You people have worked hard for a couple of months. Definitely you have done your bit. Now this is a time to consolidate your things that you have actually done and revise as much as you can. Now I'll be emphasizing on the part of revision. See, revision is very important. Now how you need to revise and what you need to revise is again something very important in this last 6 days. So you need to first focus on your notes that you have made for any subject. See, the first I have told you there will be no schedule and no plan, so you can relate. There will be the notes that you have made, whatever subject. If you have a doubt on the current affairs, environment, culture, modern history, any subject, beat any subject, your notes must be read in last 6 days. Just to tell you the truth, कई ऐसे बच्चे हैं जो साल भर पूरी अपने नोट्स बनाते हैं, and even at the end they are not able to revise it. And once they appear in examination, if a question is there, the regret that you feel cannot be compensated. You have to compensate it with 1.5 years a minimum, right? क्योंकि एक अटेम्प्ट में इतनी टाइम लग जाते हैं. So that can only be compensated with time, nothing else, right? So make sure you are going through all your notes that you have made. If you're preparing for the last year, then you have come across a good number of notes. That the handmade notes must be read. This would be the first priority. अगर आपने ये notes कर लिए हैं 6 दिनों में, then go for the highlighted points that you have done in your book. Whatever book you are referring, I'm assuming not more than 2 books. Although I categorically ask people to go for 1 book, but if in any case you are referring to book, suppose in culture or for any other part like modern history, although these modern history and polity have specific book, a single book, but for environment and any other section you have 2 books. Just read out the highlighted points, the underlined point that you have come across during your preparation. See, this is what we call consolidating the part of your preparation. It is very important. Now, last minute rush is something is suicidal, right? You cannot go by any new PDF. You cannot go by any new things. This is something that should be emphasized by the students. Now, one other thing, in the era of digital technology and when the data are at the cheaper price, students go for marathon session. See, this is something that was advisable if you would have three months before, right? But at this time, do not go for any marathon session on YouTube or any kind of videos that is not helping out. Even you can watch short videos, not more than 5 minutes, right? So make sure you're not going by any marathon session. These does not work at all. Any marathon session has a minimum of 5 to 6 hours, right? And even if you're going by your notes, you will be easily able to complete that within 3 to 4 hours with more concrete and more substantial information. So my personal advice, do not go by watching this, and this has a problem of staining your eyes also. You cannot watch such long video. It has something that stimulate your body also. So do not go for the binge watching of YouTube marathon sessions. Now, this I wanted to collect with a part of the stimulating mind and body. This goes for the PYQs, which I have already discussed. Now, the last thing that I wanted to highlight is healthy foods and good sleep. See, I think if you have watched any other videos on the last minute tips, you must be wondering that why everyone is emphasizing on the part of healthy food and good sleep. The only reason is that I wanted that none of you get ill in this time. See, this is a month of May. It's a summer time. If you are residing anywhere across the country, you must be witnessing a transition in the weather, right? This is something which is inevitable in any part of the country. If you're from North India, you will be witnessing it more. Now, what happened during this transition? Your body, even you as an individual, do not adopt with it, right? So the immune system sometimes tends to deteriorate, and if you're not taking healthy food, if you are weak for a single day, you can see the losses that, and even the part of the things that you will be missing out in a single day. So it is very, very important to take care of your health and even good sleep. Why good sleep? Because it helps for good memory recognition. See, if you see the part of the prelims examination, it is more of a recall examination. You have to recall whatever you have learned. You have to recall. 4 options are there in front of you. You have to recall it, right? Any one of the correct answer is there with you. But the point, if you're not able to recall, if you tend to confuse, there's no sense of reading out for that couple of months or a year. So, right? So if these two things are complemented, this will definitely work for the good memory recognitions. And just to highlight and even emphasize on the part of the good food, many students say that good foods are costly, the healthy foods are costly, how we should go for it. I'll just take another 30 seconds on that. See, healthy food, it's not necessarily that healthy foods are always costly. You can go for peanuts, you can go for bananas, you can go for fruits. I'm not asking you to make something which is taking you another time. Go for ready-made thing. Ready-made it should not be the packet food, right? It should be fruits, healthy part of that, peanut butter, anything that is healthy for you. You should go for it depending upon the temperature and the climatic condition you're residing at, right? So if you utilize all these points that I have categorically mentioned in last 6 days, I think this will aid your part of the preparation. Now, how to approach MCQ? This is a second segment that I wanted to highlight here. So see, whatever you read and study, just as the truth that whatever you read or whatever you study, you cannot solve more than 35 to 40 questions. Even to a larger extent, you cannot go by more than 25 to 30. This is the brutal truth of the civil services examination. No one can say that I knew 50 questions in one go. In one go, you will be only knowing 35 to 40 questions on a marks, right? So this is a truth. Now, how to overcome this problem? Definitely, if you're attempting this total number of questions, you are rejected. You are straight away rejected. So there's a 3-way approach or a 3-step approach that you need to follow in the examination for the MCQs. The first approach that right? For the first approach, that whatever you have to attempt that question. Now, the second question, you should go by the part of logical guessing or elimination. Now, this is again a point that I can talk for the last like 20 minutes or 30 minutes, but I wanted to give you a precise information. See, in the recent time, you have seen UPSC has come up with the paired question, right? But wherever there's a statement-based question, if you have some ideas, 2 statement, 3 statement, you will be definitely able to eliminate that. So logical guessing, no blunt part of and no blind guessing is going to work for you. You have to ensure that you are making a logical guessing and eliminating it, right? I'll come to part of the other data also in that. So this is a second approach that you should be logically. And third, that if you are able to eliminate at least 2 options, right, and you are left with only 2 options, make sure that you go for it. The probability says that if you are doing that, you will be only in the win-win situation. So make sure you are utilizing this 3-way approach. And just to remind you and just to caution you, do not use this directly in the examination hall. जो मैंने आपको PYQs बनने के लिए कहने की, if you're practicing the PYQs, make sure you are practicing this and implementing this 3-way approach in this PYQs in the last 6 days. तो आपको ये पता चल जाएगा, हैंड ऑन एक्सपीरियंस होंगे आपको कि आप एक्चुअली इसको इम्प्लीमेंट कर पा रहे हैं या नहीं, right? So this is a disclaimer, and these are the actual part which student used to do. जितने भी टॉपर्स के आपने देखे होंगे, पढ़े होंगे, you will be able to relate that why I'm emphasizing on that. Now, the other point that you need to caution in the PYQs, and mostly students get confused, is do not extra caution on data, figure, and extreme word, right? What UPSC did in the past years, when there is only which is mentioned, right? The people tend to say that this is a wrong statement. No, this should not be your approach. You have to read the complete statement. Why? What is the meaning? That why only is used. You cannot straight away by looking only you can say that this is a wrong. And the other notion that has been created is that if ministries are there, if data is mentioned, it will be definitely a wrong options. No, this is not the case. UPSC is evolving in its part, and you cannot take risks. So just for a caution, completely read the statement. If you're not able to relate what you have studied, just make a logical guessing, and even logically try to understand that statement. That will definitely help you to eliminate the part of the option, so you can relate both of them. Now the other thing, that is the part of roll number, seats, and OMR filling. I'll be giving you the complete detail in a while, how to approach the OMR and how to approach the filling of your roll numbers and everything in a while. Now, the third part of the section is CSAT. Now, before I come to the discussion of CSAT, I specifically wanted to highlight one thing. See, when you are done with your examination by 11:30, that is for the general studies paper, and you have the examination schedule at 2, right? From 2 to 4, you have a CSAT paper. Now, in this time, you have to use it judicially. Very, very important. Depending upon your center, if you're in North India, you will be definitely feeling the heat strong. That will definitely exhaust you, right? First and foremost, do not discuss the paper one. Strict no, do not discuss the paper one. This is a complete no, because it will definitely it will give you a mental stress, which is not required in the examination. And even for a paper CSAT where your mental part is working out to a high speed, तो आप इस तरह की चीजों से बचें. Eat light food, possibly something that is having your good gut health, like curd and fruits if possible. You can have a light meal. So this is the first point. Before I come to the discussion, this is the point you need to take as a caution. Now for CSAT, what you can do in the last 6 days, practice PYQs. That will definitely help you, because with practicing PYQ in the RC, that is reasoning comprehension, you will come to know what exactly UPSC is asking in its passage, and choosing that passage sometimes there's a difference in the answer when you mark and the real answer which is there from the UPSC answers की. तो आप उसी क्वेश्चंस की प्रैक्टिस करें जिसकी यूपीएससी ने आंसर्स की दी हुई है, so that you can relate, you can see your thought process, how it is actually working. Accordingly, you can go for the other part, right? Brush up your concepts in the maths, the formulas that is there, that will help you. If any cheat code you have, you can accordingly revise it. Now, avoid choosing the section in the examination. This is very important. Some people tend to have the reading comprehension as their edge. Some having quant, some having reasoning. So I'll rather suggest you can prioritize it, but don't emphasize only on focusing this, because minimum you have to attempt 50 to 55 question to clear CSAT. And it is very disappointing when you clear the paper one, that is a general studies, and you lack in CSAT. That is very disappointing. You have to only afford the time of 1.5 years. That's it. So I don't want any of our student to missing out in the CSAT paper. Time management is very important, although aspirants say that there's ample of time. But I personally feel there in the recent time, the paper has changed, the trend has changed, and it is taking a good number of time. So do not have a notion that you have a substantial time. You are lacking on that time. You have to complete your paper before like 10 to 15 minutes of the time. Now again, the same goes for the PYQs. You have to stimulate your body, right, accordingly. And this is something practice the CSAT paper at the actual time, that is 2 to 4. Right? This will also give you a stimulations to your mind that how you need to function on that specific time. These minute things will definitely have an impact on your overall preparation and attempting of the questions. And we have reached out to the last section of this session, that is the common mistake that you should not do in the OMR. This is very, very important because I understand you have your mind full with all other tasks that you have to do, revise these things, you have to do practice something, you have to, your mind is completely blocked. So these things must not be there in your mind. I specifically wanted to highlight because this is released by UPSC itself. UPSC ने इसको रिलीज किया है. मैं इसको डिस्क्रिप्शन में आपको लिंक दे दूंगा पीडीएफ डाउनलोड करने का, आप डाउनलोड करके एक बार देख लेना. सो दैट दीज मिस्टेक वाई आई एम एम्फेसाइजिंग, बिकॉज किसी भी तरह की अगर मिस्टेक होती है आपके OMR शीट पे, यू विल बी लूजिंग योर अटेम्प्ट. राइट, स्ट्रेट अवे यूपीएससी विल रिजेक्ट योर अटेम्प्ट. तो अटेम्प्ट आपकी वो पूरी तरह से वेस्ट चली जाएगी. सो डू टेक अ कॉशन while you are attempting your part of the OMR sheet. So you can see UPSC has given you the complete details that how you need to mark. This is suppose a candidate has been allocated with set A and he has marked as C as the incorrect. So like this is the incorrect one, this is the correct one, right? Now the second part, that the complete booklet has been left out. He has not marked it, so that will also negate the part of the OMR. The third is error in encoding for the wrong number. You see there is 01 and the number is something different, and even for the wrong number it is different. So you have to be, you have to allocate at least 5 to 7, possibly 3 to 5 minutes in filling everything that the details are there, right? When the examiner is reaching out to you with the seat, do take the caution of your roll numbers, the sheet number and the roll numbers, the paper code that is there. Now, even some people tend to remember God at the examination day. So avoid mistaking, because what will happen, OMR will not recognize this paper and this will be invalidated by the UPSC. Now, the other point of caution, that is incomplete bubbling is not going to work. This answer will be eliminated. The question will mark as non-attempted. So make sure you have a good nib pen, ball pen which is required, right? So you should accordingly color it, fill it properly so that your question is counted. Now the part of the scanning attendance list. So how you need to do, see what problem is there in the signature part, because you are in hurry, your mind is working at full potential, but you are neglecting this thing. So at the signature side, you just write your name. Now, even if you are using whitener, this is not UPSC permit. So it is not possible. So again, these mistake, one attempt, you are done with, right? So take all the cautions, read, I'll just ping this in the description so that you can go through the part and take a caution of each and every point that has been specifically highlighted by UPSC. This particular PPT has been released, PDF has been released by UPSC. So you need to go through it. It will take your minutes or two and you're done with this, right? So do check. So with this, we come to conclude this session. We are at the end of the session. I just wanted to tell you that believe in yourself is the success and secret of your success. Whatever you did in the couple of months, it is sufficient for you. It is sufficient for you to crack this examination. Just believe in yourself. Whatever you did, you are a warrior and you can crack this examination with all the preparation that you had, right? So believe in yourself and believe that you are the best. And all the best from our end. We at APTI Plus family wish you all the best before the examination. And I'm expecting all of you to come up with the flying colors, write the examination, accordingly appear for the interview, right? So all the best for the examination. Hope everyone rocks on 28th of May. So for time being, if you are new to our channel, do not forget to subscribe APTI Plus Academy for Civil Services on YouTube. If you like this video, if you find this video informative and helpful, do press a like button. I'm signing off. We'll meet in the next important video. Thank you so much for watching this.